Hello students, and welcome to another lecture in our series of lectures on Java. So today's lecture we will be discussing another very important and basic concept which again is common to various other programming languages, and that concept is operators. In the previous lectures we have covered the concept of variables, data types. We have understood what do you mean by literals, constants. We have also understood how to write a basic hello world program in Java with all the different concepts, how to create a class, how to write a void main function. Moving on, we now need to understand operators. First of all, let me tell you what do you mean by an operator. So an operator is nothing but a symbol which is performing some kind of an operation on the given values. In technical terms, the values are called as operands, whereas the symbols which are performing the operation on these values are called as operators. Now, the operators in any programming language that you come across would be mainly divided into these following categories, as you can see on the screen. So you have arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, unary operators, assignment operators, and conditional operators. Now one needs to understand the concept of these operators very well. The reason for that is that any program that you write will be covering a lot many of these operators. Every expression, every statement which you write will be having operators. So once you have understood their usage very well, it is only then that you can make use of these operators in your program. For reason of deep understanding, I have divided my lecture on Java operators into two main lectures. The first lecture we will be covering arithmetic, relational and logical operators, whereas in the next lecture we will be covering up unary, assignment and conditional operators. So let's begin with understanding the concept of arithmetic operators first. Now, main arithmetic operators are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. As you can see the example on the screen, I have created two variables. For a very quick brush up, variable is nothing but a container in memory which is holding some value. So we have created two containers, one by the name of A and the other by the name of B. Container A is holding a value 7. Container B is holding a value of 3. Now again a quick recap. What is int? Int is the data type which is telling us that both these containers A and B are only capable of storing whole numbers. No decimal numbers will be stored by them. And secondly, the size of both of these containers would be 4 bytes. Now we are performing different operations on these two container values. So my first operation is addition, where I am adding the value of A and B, and the result is being stored in the variable C. So when I add A and B, the answer would be 10, which is stored in the variable C. Again, C is of the same data type. This is something that one needs to understand again, that when you perform operation on operands of the same data type, then the resultant value will also be of the same data type. So if I am adding two integers, my result will also be an integer value. If I am adding two decimal numbers, then my result will also be a decimal number. My next operation is subtraction. So A minus B, when I subtract 7 when I subtract the value of 3 from 7, my resultant answer would be 4. The third operation is multiplication. So A into B, 7 into 3, that is 21. My next operation is division. Now here you need to be very careful, because when we divide, as I mentioned, the resultant answer would be an integer value, not a decimal value. So even though when you divide 7 by 3, the answer would be a decimal number, since f is an integer value, it will only retain the whole number. The decimal part will be removed. So if my answer is 2.33, the 0.33 part is neglected and only 2 will be retained in the variable f. In case I want to perform decimal division, in that case I need to declare A and B both as decimal numbers, or else I would have to use the concept of typecasting, which we will be covering up in the subsequent lectures. Coming to the last operator in the series of arithmetic operators, that is modulus. Now modulus stands for remainder and it is denoted by the percentage sign. Again, this is a very important operator that one needs to understand. If I divide 7 by 3, my quotient is 2 and my remainder will be 1. Now here, very importantly, we are talking about integer division. We are not talking about decimal division. So 3 2s are 6, my remainder would be 1. The modulus operator retains or returns the remainder, whereas the division operator returns the quotient. Coming to the next set of operators, we have relational operators. Now these operators are used for comparison between two values. So here again you have a set of operators. We have less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and not equal to. For example, again I have two variables, two containers, one with the value 7 and the other with the value 3. If I compare A less than B, the value of A is 7, the value of B is 3, so A is not less than 7. My operator, relational operator, will return the value false. It returns Boolean value, true or false. My next comparison is the value of A greater than B? Yes, it is. So it is returning the value as true. My third comparison is the value of A less than or equal to B? Since the value of A is not less than nor is it equal to B, it is giving me the answer as false. My fourth comparison is the value of A greater than or equal to B? My value of A is 7, which is definitely greater than the value of B, so it is giving me the answer as true. My next comparison is the value of A equal to B? That is not, so it is returning the value as false. And the last comparison, is the value of A not equal to B? Yes, A is not equal to B, so it is giving us the value as true. So these are the set of relational operators, very important again for condition checking later on. Coming to the third set of operators, which are logical operators. Under this category we have three operators: and, logical or, which is denoted by two parallel lines, and the not symbol. In case of logical and, it is used to compare multiple conditions, and your statement will be true only if all the conditions are satisfied. If I take a very layman and general life example, suppose if I pass a statement saying that if it is not sunny and if I complete my work, only then will I move out. Now in this case, suppose if it is not sunny, but if I have not completed my work, I will not move out. The second criteria could be, I have completed my work, but it is sunny, so I will not move out again, because only one of the condition is satisfied. But if it is not sunny and if my work is done, I will definitely move out. So in this case, if both my conditions are satisfied, two or more, if all my conditions are satisfied, only then the result will be true. If any one of the condition is not satisfied, the result will be false. In case of OR, when I am joining multiple conditions using OR, for example, if it is not sunny, or if I finish my work, I will go out. Now in this case, if I finish my work, but it is sunny, I will still go out. If it is not sunny, and if I have not finished my work, I will still go out, because I had joined my two conditions using OR. If any one of the statement was true, I will still satisfy the statement. And the third is negation, which is completely altering the meaning of the statement. It changes true to false and false to true. Alongside you can see an example. So again I have two variables, two containers, one with the value 7 and the other with the value 5. In my first statement, I am comparing two conditions using the AND operator. So my first condition is the value of A greater than 5? Yes, it is. My second condition is the value of B greater than 5? No, it is not. It is equal to 5, not greater than 5. When I join these two conditions using AND, one condition is true, the other is false. My resultant would be false. In the second case, I have joined the same two conditions using OR. Since first condition is true, second is false, still my final outcome would be true because at least one condition has been satisfied. In the third case, A is greater than 5. The answer is true. But because I have put a not symbol in front, it is negating the statement and it is changing true to false. So these are logical operators. Again, very important when we will be doing conditions in the programming language. Now, today I have a question for my learners who are learning the language. Two practice programs, the solutions of which I will be discussing in my next lecture. A simple Java program which will add two numbers. We will not be accepting the value from the user as of now. Let's give any of our own values to the variables, add them and show the answer. And the second would be a Java program where the user needs to print the quotient and remainder of two numbers. So you will have two variables, two integers. You need to divide them and you need to print their quotient as well as their remainder. Try these two questions. I am here trying to imbibe very important concepts which are generic to all programming languages. So understand these concepts very well. Only if you understand, you can be a good programmer. Programming language is not something that you can learn by heart and reproduce. You will, until and unless you don't understand each of the concepts in detail, you will not be able to move ahead. So please practice them. My solutions to the two expert challenge questions would be coming in the next lecture for sure. For any queries, please write into farida.musaddi@gmail.com and please subscribe to my channel World of Programming. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.